Hi, I'm Glenn. You may remember part 1 of my video about constructing my home studio in a large shed in my backyard. Well, things have certainly changed since then. Welcome to part 2. The plasterboard arrived, or drywall as it's also known, and it's Gyprock sound screen 10mm, and the first layer went up, and between every sheet in the joins I've used a silicone based sealant to help minimise any sound leakage through those sheets. After the first layer went up, I couldn't afford to use the green glue as it was way beyond my budget, so I experimented by using some carpet tiles and sticking them up there to create an air gap between the sheets and also to minimise any sound transfer that might come through. The second layer of plasterboard then went up, also with the silicone based sealant between the sheets, and we'll see how effective that soundproofing is. Also used some expander foam in the gaps between the wall and the floor to keep the nasties out and also to keep the sound in. This was all trimmed back in preparation for skirting boards. Then the ceiling went up in similar fashion to the walls, 2 layers, but this time separated by some strips of a neoprene type foam rubber, and to again minimise sound transfer. Then the undercape went on. It started to look like a room, and it also sounded like a fairly live room at this point too. So from here on it's a matter of assessing the acoustics and fine tuning it. After that we started painting the walls as a start, and also put down some laminated timber floating floorboards, which gave it a nice touch. Also got hold of some acoustic tiles fairly cheaply, and we'll be using those in strategic positions. There's the time lapse. And now the fun begins. I started setting up my equipment, which was a Fostex 4050 tape locator there, attached to the Fostex E16 16-track half-inch tape machine. The desk is a Tascam Model 15 24:8 recording console, all fully analogue, about 30 years old. I've built some effects racks there, and over in that corner where my guitar equipment is will be a computer workstation. Again, I must specify the room is still a little bit live, but it's changing all the time. The more things we put in there, it changes the acoustics. So there will be a heavy curtain in front of that door, acoustic tiles being positioned around, and a few rugs on the floor, and it all seems to change with every little step. Here I'm building some bass traps into the corners out of some old foam rubber, and here's one that's almost finished. Looks a little bit different and seems to be effective. The ceiling is covered in about a 1-inch thick layer of foam, similar to the density of that you would find inside a road case, and I've just run out of those materials, waiting for more to arrive to finish that off, and then it'll also have some other decorative patterns over it and to cover the joins. Here's the patch bay, and some of the effects, just about half a dozen compressors and a few effects processors. There's still plenty of room for me to add more there, which I will need thanks to my eBay addiction. So there you have it, the home studio is now pretty much complete, or the control room at least, just a few little DIY handyman jobs to do to finish it off, but all the gears connected up and ready to go. So stay tuned for part 3, which will be about building the room next door so we can actually
Bye.